Hello everyone and welcome in Source Code Planet. This is the third episode of Making Pixel Art web app. We can now drag to paint, but we still need to click on each cell to erase. Wouldn't it be nice to have that dragging behavior to erase? So another boolean variable to store, whether the user is dragging to paint or to erase. So let's put is dragging equals true inside the main if statement. It was only for painting, but not anymore. If the button is the right one, then the user wants to erase, so the erasing state starts. And once the user releases the right button, both states dragging and erasing stop. And the color for erasing should be white. Nice and easy. Now let's add another label called grid. And an input element of type checkbox to control the grid. And the grid in this case is the border of the cells, which is enabled by default. Add an ID to the checkbox. We need it for later use. Get its DOM object. Add a function to handle the grid. So for each cell in the table we check. If the grid is enabled, we set the borders or else we remove them. Let's see it in the browser. Oops, something wrong. That for each is not a function. I forgot to add all to .query selector. To return a node list of DOM objects instead of the first one it finds. Okay, problem solved. Oops, the color of the border is not the same. Wait a minute, did you see that? We need to call handle grid inside the onChange of the two inputs, width and height. That happened because each time the input changes, a new content replaces the old one in the table. Let's add some styles to the table. Move it to bottom a little bit. And some shadow effects. And some radius to the borders. Hide the overflowing parts. A background image for it, like an empty pixel. I have one in my desktop. Here it is. It makes sense for this kind of apps. Oops, we need to give it the same size of cells, 10 pixels by 10. Oops, we forgot about erasing. Now it should be transparent instead of white because we have a background. That's it for this episode. See you in the next one.